What up, man? It's your boy Earl of Pearl, and you tuned in live to another episode of the Ultimate 216 Show. First of the month, so I figured I'll bring y'all another live episode, man. Appreciate everything y'all do. Y'all know the vibes. Drop the hashtag U216. Let me know where you're watching this episode from. Smash the like button. Tell a friend. Make sure you subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show so that you can be in the know of all the latest sports news. Catch all the latest all the news from the spinoff shows, all that good stuff. Can't thank you enough, man. We got a lot to get into. Not a lot of time to get into it. First things first, man. Let's get to the injury update for Browns running back Deontay Foreman. As you all know, man, he suffered a very, very serious and scary injury earlier this morning during practice today at the Greenbrier. The Browns moved practice up to 9:30 this morning because it was going to rain. Let me get down to it. So basically, this is what happened first. So Mary Kay tweeted this out that he was injured during the kickoff drill, being immobilized, and he was taken off on a board. He was then placed into an ambulance, and then he was sent to the hospital via helicopter. Very scary moment. We kind of led the show with this. This happened right before we went on air. As you can see right here, man, the team, kind of took a moment of prayer, moment of silence, just to make sure that let it be known that he was in their thoughts and prayers and things like that. I am happy, though, that we can report some good news on this front right here. This is the latest on Browns running back Deontay Foreman. X-rays, CAT scans came back negative, will be released from the hospital and will return to the team. So would look like a very, very scary situation at that time, and we can breathe a little sigh of relief that young man is going to be okay. Simply just straight up off of that. But good news for him, good news for the Cleveland Browns. Deontay Foreman right now is slotted in as the backup running back to Jerome Ford if the season was to start right now. And I think that he's going to play a significant role until we get Nick Chubb back, whenever that might be. I think his playing style, him being familiar with Deuce Staley and what Deuce Staley likes to do with the running back position, I think all that works in his favor, that if health is not a factor, he can have a very, very productive season for the Cleveland Browns and can be a contributor towards the Cleveland Browns reaching whatever goals that they're trying to set out to. Of course, that being AFC Championship appearance and a trip to a Super Bowl and winning that thing if we possibly could. So, shout out to him. Glad he's doing better. Glad the Cleveland Browns, man, got their running back in the fold. I'm pretty sure Kevin Stefanski will take it easy with him. So, yeah. But the biggest news of the day outside of that was the Cleveland Browns stadium talks. And I'm pretty sure you all know by now that, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb put an offer on the table. And since then, I do believe that the Haslam group has responded to that offer. Now, the conversation behind the Cleveland Browns and a brand new stadium is starting to become very, very intense. We all know it's election time. November is right around the corner. And fans are split. There are people who want to see the stadium remain downtown Cleveland. It's been a staple in downtown Cleveland forever. And it's part of tradition. It's part of what makes downtown thrive. Others are ready to step into the new age, right? Get a retractable roof or a dome stadium out in Brook Park, build it up all nice and pretty, and just move forward to a situation that's better for the players and a better fan experience when it's cold outside. So as we get this conversation started, I'm going to jump in the chat right here, right now. Drop a 1 if you're a person who wants to see the Cleveland Browns remain downtown Cleveland no matter what. And drop a 2 if you're a person that wants to see the Cleveland Browns move to Brook Park and play in a brand new dome. I just really want to test the temperature in the room as we get this conversation started. So it's a 1 if you're for keeping the stadium downtown Cleveland. It's a 2 if you're for moving the stadium to Brook Park and playing in a brand new dome. Now, the takes on this are strong. I think the opinions on this is very strong. This is the first time that we've seen the mayor of this city actually, okay, try to bargain a little bit with the Cleveland Browns and try to see if they can meet this thing in the middle. Now, a renovation of the current Cleveland Browns stadium will cost around $1 billion to build a brand new stadium. I think it's a little bit over $2 billion. So I'm seeing these comments go in, and I just want to show you what the city of Cleveland proposals was, and then we're gonna take a look at what the Haslam group responded to, and then see if I can kind of lay out maybe what it is Justin Bibb is trying to get accomplished here. And right now, just judging by what I see in the comments, it's pretty split. We got some people here with some ones. I see some ones here. I got a two right here, another two right here, two right here. It's like twos all down the line here. Twos is taking over this joint. So let's get to the statements. This was the city's proposal. The total city investment would be $461 million without any impact to city services. And that is before any pending county and state commitment. Terms include the following: 367 million, which is 227 million from increases in admission tax revenue, 120 million from Cuyahoga County sin tax revenues, and 20 million in the existing stadium capital reserves over the 30-year lease term with a 5-year renewal option. The city also says they will turn the Willer Garage and the Muni lot over to the Browns for the exclusive use on game days and event days. Parking revenues and are expected to generate 94 million for capital repairs and improvements. Under the current lease, the city covers 1.3 million in annual property taxes and insurance, while the Browns pay 250,000 in rent. Under the proposed new lease, rent will be waived for the Browns, but they will assume responsibility for the insurance and the tax payments. So this is basically Justin Bibb saying, okay, this is what the city got for you. The rest of it is on you if we're going to renovate this stadium. This is what we can do. This is the best I can do. I've been on the same show. I've been on the flagship show, telling you my opinions about, making taxpayers front so much of this bill when it comes to building a brand new Cleveland Browns stadium, where if we're being all the way honest with ourselves and we look mainly, in the inner city, there's a whole lot of issues to where a lot of this money can go towards, but that's another story for another day. So as we're looking at this situation as is, this is Justin Bibb, in my opinion, and said, okay, this is the best we can do. You got what, to the 12th of August to, respond to this deal, and see where we can go from there. But here's the thing that I think is pretty cool. And I want to show you what the Haslam Sports Group had to say before I show you these plans that I've seen on the internet that kind of leads me to an opinion of what I believe that Justin Bibb wants to get accomplished. This is what the Haslams had to say in response to what the city released earlier this morning. We appreciate the latest proposal from Mayor Bibb and his administration, and will be following up with the city of Cleveland to better understand the details while we are still reviewing it. As we have said consistently throughout this process, we continue to communicate and collaborate with the cities of Cleveland and Brook Park, Cuyahoga County, and the state of Ohio on a long-term stadium solution that creates a world-class experience for our fans and positively impacts Northeast Ohio. We are working diligently to comprehensively examine all options to identify the best path for not only our fans, but also greater Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. Our region deserves to be thought of as evolving, forward-thinking, and innovative, so we need to think boldly and creatively in this process. It goes on to say it's important to reiterate that the goal is to come up with the best experience we can for our fans while creating a long-term sustainable stadium solution that drives an impact that benefits Cleveland, the Northeast Ohio region, and the entire state of Ohio. We will continue to provide updates as we have more information to share. So that was what the Haslams had to say in response to what the mayor said. And I see the comments is booming. We got 37 live viewers. Man, make sure y'all tell people so we can get into this conversation. I'm really curious to know what you all think about this. At the beginning, it seemed like that the mayor wasn't willing to budge. It seemed like He told you I'm not putting nothing towards that. I'm not asking the city put no money towards anything. But clearly he's thought this thing out. He's thought about it. I'm pretty sure he's received a lot of mail from a lot of different people inside the city, surrounding suburbs, diehard Cleveland Browns fans. And you still got a lot of people that's old school. They believe that Cleveland Brown Stadium should be downtown, and it helps kind of like a struggling economy. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I can push back on that and tell you that, I stayed in this city for a long time. And yeah, the Cleveland Browns might generate some money, but every time I drive to work down Lakeside, it's still homeless people I'm still passing. So exactly how much money is being rented, like generated, that's actually going towards going towards impacting real change, that I don't know. But then you have the others that say, okay, we can take this stadium and move this stadium to another location, build it up nice and pretty, get this world class fan experience, build up businesses that surround it, etc. Right? And we can take whatever that land is that's the current Cleveland Browns stadium is sitting on, and develop a lakefront that can generate funds towards the city, but be fun for people to stay in the city and for tourists. I seen these images, and to me, I feel like this is where Justin Bibb is trying to meet the Cleveland Browns in the middle. I probably could have got a better picture of the current look of Cleveland Browns Stadium. But if you look at the bottom of this picture, right there is, right off the lake, a bunch of parking spaces and things like that. It's some acres there. And the thought process behind it is taking that bit of land, and for the first time, the mayor is actually open to, some type of partnership with the Haslams to see if they can combine and build up this lakefront and renovate the stadium. Now you won't get the roof on the stadium, you won't get the dome, but the mayor's basically saying like, okay, this is the best that can happen. Check this out. So this is probably not the best photo, but if you look right here, this right here is the stadium. They kind of got it mapped out for some renovations, and then taking that same land that has that current parking structure and building up, I don't know, restaurants, maybe hotels and things like that. I'm not sure if you can see this mouse moving, but this is the thought process that the mayor might have as far as, you know, with that space that's behind the stadium, maybe we can come together and come up with some creative ways and building up the lakefront and keeping the stadium downtown Cleveland. Now, with that, you won't get a dome. You're still going to have to deal with the elements. The weather is going to be a factor. And I'm curious to know what you all think. To me, this is the mayor putting the cards on the table that's saying, hey, this is the best we can do. And this is a legit plan that can be put into place that I think helps keep the Cleveland Browns in downtown Cleveland, which most fans truly, truly want to see. So, knowing that, how much is Jimmy willing to meet in the middle to appease those Browns fans who wants to keep the stadium downtown? Now, Jimmy might want this Haslam Wonderland out in Brook Park, and before now, Jimmy can point to a point and saying, okay, well, the city not budging, the city not trying to do anything to be inclusive right now. So you can argue at that said time, well, maybe they just forcing my hand. I don't think you can argue that now. I think that the mayor, based on what you look at with the poverty rate with the city, what you look at all kind of just different factors, numbers, intangibles, whatever. He put a proposal out there that says, hey, okay, I heard the fans. The fans want to keep this team downtown. This is the best I could do to kind of help aid that situation. Now, Jimmy, the ball is back in your court. And so it's interesting to see the takes on this. I'm gonna go through and read some of these comments, man, before we move on to the next part of this show. Thank y'all for joining me, man. I know a lot of y'all probably just getting off work, getting ready to go to work, but you're spending some of this time with me. Again, smash that like button, like, subscribe. We did like close to 40,000 in the month of July just on the Ultimate 216 show alone. Can't thank you all enough, man. Let's see if we can duplicate that right here in the month of August. Let's go take some of these comments and see what you all have to say about that. Let's see here. That said, I don't think that dropping off half a billion bucks into an old stadium is a smart investment. Let's see. We played in 0-degree weather 2 years ago and lost to the Saints, who play in the dome. There has been zero home field advantage renovating the Carilion Stadium. Makes zero sense. It says this home field advantage with weather is BS. We lost to one weather teams all the time just for the fans to feel miserable during the game. It says I'm not from the area. Can you explain the location difference between the two options? So downtown Cleveland is, I mean, it's downtown Cleveland. The stadium right now sits in a perfect space that kind of sits between the west side and the east side of Cleveland. If you move it to Brook Park is a surrounded suburb of the actual city of Cleveland. And people who's actually from the city of Cleveland, that's something that some people kind of like, they're not feeling that. So I don't know. Y'all telling me what y'all think. Somebody said, who is this? Earl, Earl is definitely ghetto. Shout out to you, Eric. You're definitely an asshole. Whatever. But I think that the mayor has done a good job of putting what the Cleveland Browns fans want, at the forefront while making sure that he's still taking care of things that's necessary when it comes to the overall betterment of this city itself. And that's what's very important. So I really want to know what y'all think, man. Y'all drop y'all comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think when it comes to, based on what the mayor has proposed, based on what's been put out there. You see the Haslam's and put a response out there. And if you look at the statement, right, he talks about the city, he talks about the surrounding area of Northeast Ohio. Not too many mentions of actual downtown Cleveland itself. And when you have the general manager of the team kind of come front and center, the current quarterback of the team come front and center and say, you know what, they offer playing in the dome. The difference between the two and the reality of it is that when it comes time to go play in that dome, Andrew Berry will probably be here and Deshaun Watson probably won't. And what I'm saying is, at the time it takes to build that dome stadium, if you look at the average playing career of an NFL player, just the history says it's highly unlikely that he'll still be here when it's time to go play in that dome. Some fans, they want that fan experience to be, top quality and something to where they don't have to deal with the elements. And then there's still that group of fans here who feel like football should be played in the elements, that football should be played outside. And that's what it is. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. We got a few more minutes in here before we get out of here. Don't forget the Cleveland Guardians is playing tonight. And don't forget as well that this episode of the Ultimate 216 show is brought to you by Game Time. Download the app Game Time now if you're trying to catch the Cleveland Guardians take on the Baltimore Orioles this weekend. They got a 4-game series. If you're trying to get out to the ballpark tonight, the game starts at 6:40. So that means the closer that you get to first pitch, that means you can get to saving up to 60% off tickets to things like the Cleveland Guardians versus the Baltimore Orioles. All you got to do right now is download the app, use promo code Locked On NFL, and you'll receive $20 off your first purchase. So I heard that Deshaun Watson was balling today. We was getting ready for the show before, as training camp was getting started and taking place and things like that. And found some videos online. Gonna play those as we had this conversation. We talked about a lot of this stuff during the show. A lot of people was really asking about Jerry Jeudy. We traded for Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy got a brand new contract. We really didn't see much of him during OTAs, but he's starting to ramp up to being available as we move forward in training camp. Kevin Stefanski spoke to the media earlier today. He says, he's been doing a great job in walkthroughs and in meetings, but he is getting closer and closer to his return. As you can see earlier today, that's him and Deshaun Watson doing some one-on-one drills. He participated in a lot of the one-on-one drills. This is, again, the wide receivers going in the one-on-one drills. Cedric Tillman, we'll talk more about Cedric Tillman in a minute. He had a pretty good day today, made some plays out there based on what I've seen on social media. But, Jerry Jeudy is going to play a major part in what the Cleveland Browns do this year. Amari Cooper did an interview with NFL Network, and he spoke highly of the developing relationship between the two, said they do a lot of studying together, and he believes that, he and Elijah Moore and Jerry Jeudy can be a dynamic trio. This was one of the last plays of camp right here. You see David Njoku getting the best of Juan Thornhill. Deshaun made some plays. The offense made some plays today, and that was good to see. I think the next clip right here, this is Deshaun hitting Cedric Tillman for a 40-yard touchdown. I think he beat Justin Hardy on that play right there. Deshaun Watson did end up throwing his first interception of camp, and I believe this video right here is Grant Delpit getting the best of 4 right here. First turnover at camp so far for Deshaun Watson. But outside of that, from all accounts, from everybody that I've heard from who's been out there at the Greenbrier, that Deshaun Watson has been very, very impressive throughout training camp so far, that, understanding the language of the offense hasn't really been an issue, and that he's looked sharp, he's looked clean, no setbacks at all with the throwing shoulder, and that he's progressing every day, one day at a time, trying to win that day. Tyvis talked about it a lot, about how important it is for those players to stack up good days, to constantly stack good reps, and be in a position that as you get closer to the regular season, that you're feeling good, that you have a good understanding, and that you're confident in what's going on inside this system. And that all comes with stacking good days and putting those positive reps together in training camp. And I know these things on a grand scheme sometimes get overblown in the media about camp standouts and superstars and things like that. But the reality is, man, just be really, really good at whatever is being asked of you at said time, and start stacking that stuff and putting it together. And by the time we get to the season, we can stop having these conversations or asking these questions. I'll play this video one more time. I thought that the team overall got some good work in. I read a lot of things before I did this show, as far as how much 11 on 11 work that the entire squad put in today. For the most part, outside of what happened with Deontay Foreman, we came away healthy. I know Shelby Harris is dealing with an injury, didn't practice today. Jock didn't practice today, and Tony Fields was in the boot. But overall, outside of the Foreman news, there was nothing that was really health related. This right here was the throw of the day. Check this throw out to Amari Cooper. Boom, 2 feet in. The only thing bad on that play is he beat my boy MJ Emerson. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I thought everything with that was sweet. So, the Cleveland Browns wrapped up training camp practice today. Deontay Foreman was not as bad as it originally looked. And so that's a good thing there. We just got to keep stacking these days up together. Let's get to some of these comments before we get out here. Again, man, let me know what y'all think about the news that we heard today in regards to the Cleveland Browns stadium situation. He being Mayor Justin Bibb, gave the Haslam family a time frame to respond. And so depending on what that response is, I think we're going to see some, kind of like concrete decisions being made about where the Cleveland Browns will be playing long-term in the near future. Jimmy spoke to, he wants to do what's in the best interest of the Cleveland Browns fans. And it seems like Justin Bibb is trying to make sure he does the same thing. So we'll see what goes on from there. Let's take some comments before we get out of here. Again, appreciate you all for taking some time out to join me today. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we got here. Wahoo fan says, after hearing a statement from Andrew Berry, stated that he preferred a dome, has already been decided. I couldn't agree more with that. I think they're going to Brook Park no matter what, if I can be totally honest with you. This one here says it's a done deal. Jimmy's going to pay for it all if need be. Book it. Jimmy said he wasn't paying for the whole thing, so we'll see. We'll see how that comes out. Says football, I hope Moore has a better year two in the slot. I think Elijah Moore is going to have a much better year as well. I think this offense that this offense that we're going to see this year is going to cater to the fact of helping Elijah Moore have a better year than what he had last year. I think it's going to be more vertical. I know we was promised a more vertical attack last year, but I go back to the last time that Ken Dorsey had his last full season, which was 2022, his last full season as the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator, 7 wide receivers that season went over 100 yards. And I just go back to, and I know it was a long time ago before he was in Buffalo, but that year that Cam Newton won the MVP and Carolina went on that crazy ass run, I just go back to what that offense looked like that year, and then I try to compare it to the weapons that we have this year. And I think it can get pretty damn scary if everything goes according to plan. William Beck says if Cleveland gets a Super Bowl, they can complain all they want. Getting it is the point. Facts on that. I think the team is talented in a way that if Watson can be in Pro Bowl form, they can be special. Don't disagree with that. Iron sharpens iron, so hopefully it makes them better. Definitely agree with that. All right, y'all, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. Again, y'all know how this go. Fastest 30 minutes in UCSS time, man. Thank you for spending some time with me. Man, stay great, stay focused, stay prayed up. It's been scary hours out here lately. It seems like every time I pick up my phone and go to see social media, Cleveland Remembrance page got another body up there, man. Y'all just stay, like I said, man, stay prayed up, stay focused, man. Just spread some love, turn the other cheek, man. I understand making it home at night to the people that love you is the most important thing. So next time, remember, man, spread love, be great. Being great come with a price, and spreading love is priceless. Till next time, I'm out of here.